to Everything Kim. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing what I wanted to be when I was in primary school and high school, and basically looking at where I am now with my studying and where I sort of see myself like in the next 5 years or so. In primary school, you get the question a lot like, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a teacher. That's basically every year. And in primary school, I've always said like I wanted to be a photographer because I liked photos. I wanted to be a teacher because I loved my teachers. And what was the other thing? I think it was like a lawyer or something like that, because my mom then used to watch Scandal and like a lot of like the law shows and you know, things like that. So I like the suits, I like how people would scream and you know, in the courtroom like, no objection, and all that kind of thing. So like that's what I liked. And obviously the ladies looked amazing in their suits, and I liked, you know, clothes like dresses and suits and all that kind of things. Anyway, so yeah, that was basically me in grade 4, 5 and 6, I think. Going into high school, you obviously now need to pick your subjects. So in grade 9, you have to pick your subjects and sort of pick subjects in the line of like what you want to become. So if it's a doctor, generally I know you take pure maths, you take physics and take life science. The lawyers take the history and some of the business, you know, the commerce kids all take business and what do you call it, economics and accounting. So yeah, so I'm just like that kind of girl. I was like, yo guys, there's so much happening in my mind, like what do I actually want to do? So in high school I still wanted to be a lawyer. Still the photography was in my head, and with me singing more often, I then wanted to become a singer. And then with me watching a lot of like Medea movies and things like that, I wanted to become an actor. So I was like, you know what, I can be like in the daytime be a lawyer, and at nighttime be like that singer actor that goes to the Grammys and goes to the Oscars. Guys, that was the vision. Okay. And then grade 11 happened and we had to do job shadowing. So I went to my old primary school for, I think it was 2-3 days. It was 2 days. 2 days I went to my primary school, and then I sat in a class with a teacher named Mrs. Grimwood, and she taught grade 4. So they were cute, you know. She basically told them, be on your best behavior so you can become a teacher. And then for the 3 days, I then went to a law firm. They're in town. It's called STBB. And they're one of like the top law firms in Cape Town. So on the first day, they basically just showed us around the firm. They basically showed us the different departments. I never knew there were so many departments. And yeah, just basic introduction, you know, about being a lawyer, working in a law firm, that sort of thing. But the second day, they took us to a courthouse and we sat in family court for about an hour. In that hour that we sat there, I probably saw it was about 10 to 15 couples get divorced. And that for me, like, yo guys, there was so many emotions and feelings that went through my body at that time, because it wasn't just that couple that was obviously getting a divorce. In every family that was present that day, there were children. And the children were between the ages of 1 and 8 mostly. There wasn't, I don't remember any child being like over 13 years old. So I mean, in that age, what do you know about divorce or about being separated and not seeing your mommy and your daddy in the same place? It was just a lot happening. And I went home that night, my mom asked me how my day was, and I just cried because I couldn't, like, my heart just went out for the kids. It wasn't more of the fact that the parents were getting divorced, but it was more of who's there for the kids, you know, who's speaking to the kids, are the kids understanding what is happening, you know, will they be okay? That was my main focus. So went home, basically did research about divorce and how kids sort of handle it and what they go through. While doing my research, I then saw a lot of social workers and psychologists. Those are the names that are like popping up everywhere. So I was like, okay, how do I get into these kids' mind? How do I help them? And then the third day we went back, I kind of spoke to one of the lawyers that was giving us introductions that day. And I just, simply asked about like, how does these cases sort of pan out? Like, what's the time period? Does the kids go and see someone? How does it affect their schooling? That sort of thing. And they basically said, well, a social worker gets involved. They see, who the better parent is in the situation. They get placed with that parent. And there was just something inside of me that was like, no, I need to stick with this. Like, there's something that's leading me more towards social working. Anyway, that was that. I left it for a couple of months, let it, just sit in my system. And then it was time to apply to universities. I then applied to UCT, I applied to UWC, I applied to Stellenbosch, all for it was teaching, it was psychology, it was social working. So that was sort of the area that I was focusing in. I then got replies back, I got accepted for all of them. And then it was really that time to sort of like, make your decision of like where you're wanting to go. And I prayed about it and I said, Lord, something doesn't sit right with me with like social working either. Like, I know it's going to be a lot of work. And being attached to a case, you need to sort of detach as well when you get home. And it was just a lot happening. I prayed about it and the Lord led me to psychology. Psychology/counseling. So I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Let's see, what happens in the next 3 years. UCT 2017, my first year, I registered for a course called Social Development, and I registered for a course in psychology. So those are my two majors. On the side, I took sociology and what was the other thing, gender studies that I took this year. I took those courses sort of because some of the content were very similar to what I was dealing with in social development and in psychology, so it was quite nice just to sort of broaden my horizon and see what other courses can offer. Those were just electives, those weren't majors at all. So during my last 3 years, you sort of in your head are like, okay, so what happens when I'm done studying, right? Where do I go? What jobs do I apply for? What am I gonna do? So originally, because I'm doing psychology, I wanted to become a clinical psychologist. Not that it's off the table, but just the fact like your eyes sort of open up to other jobs and other needs with either in your community or within the country. And so I've been looking around and I saw that having a counselor at a school, a lot of schools don't have it, and it's a need. And so that's basically what I am wanting to do, is become a counselor at either a primary school or a high school. More so a primary school, because that's where the need really is. So generally between the ages of like 6 to 13 is the age where you can sort of mold and shape the child, and you can still get information into them and they're not going to be like, oh no, I don't want to hear this, I don't want to hear that. So primary school is basically where I want to be. And then recently I've learned that with my degree that I will have, I can do like a year training course in education and I can become a life orientation teacher. So if I'm wanting to, if it's God's will for me to do my honors next year, getting ahead of myself, in 2 years time doing my honors so that I can become a registered counselor, and then maybe doing a year in education and training and then becoming a life orientation teacher. That's sort of like amazing jobs, 2 amazing jobs in one, being a counselor and a life orientation teacher. I mean, come on now guys, I feel like it's a win-win situation. So yeah, that's basically where the plan is going at the moment. It might change, I don't know. Over the years, I sit down and I pray and I ask God, is this really what I want to do? Is this really what you want me to do? Is this really where you want me to go? And the plan really just has changed, not so many times, but enough times that I know now, okay, this is where I want to be, you know, at the moment. So yeah guys, that's basically why I chose my degree, where I see myself now in the next maybe 5 years. But you never know, my singing might get to a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm doing music now. Or my photography might get to a point where I'm just like, okay, I have a degree but I like photography. So I don't know, my singing and my photography are really just my hobbies at the moment. But you know, sometimes turning a hobby into your passion and into a career is also a good thing. So heaven knows. I don't know, but yeah, that's basically where I am at now guys. That's my headspace. This is where I think and I know that God wants me to be in my life. So yeah, that's what I want to be when I grow up. So yeah guys, that's my video for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until my next vlog, stay blessed. Don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. Bye.